Greetings and welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into reparenting, exploring all of the tools and resources that you'll need to help you along your journey. This podcast is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading. The second is a discussion of the reading followed by suggested journal prompts. And the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us today. I'm so glad that you're here as we continue on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Before we dive in, a quick reminder. Like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Your support here helps spread the word and grow this community of self-reparenting. Now for a few updates. First, I'm excited to introduce our Patreon community, where for a small monthly fee, you can join us for 3 weekly reparenting support meetings. Sundays, we have a guided meditation for emotional grounding. On Tuesdays, we have a book club discussion for deeper discussions and growth. And on Thursdays, we have open topic conversations for real-time support on any topics that may come up. You can find all of the details about what's included in this community by going to the Reparenting Daily website and checking out the community tab. In addition, we now have a WhatsApp support group, a global network of fellow travelers available anytime you need encouragement, guidance, or a simple connection. This is just one of the many ways we're building a strong, supportive space for your reparenting journey. The next announcement is that I've just released my first few books. The first is the Reparenting Daily Journal, a structured 365-day guide to help you work through reparenting day by day. Starting in 2025, each month focuses on a key theme with weekly sub-themes. The Reparenting Daily podcast episodes align with the journal, making it an interactive and immersive experience to help you stay focused and ensure real progress this year. Now for the next announcement, I'm thrilled to introduce Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily, a collection of 3 books inspired by Jungian analysis, mythology, philosophy, psychology, and most importantly, the work of Marie-Louise von Franz. These short, simple stories are designed to help you reconnect with your inner child and experience healing through storytelling. What makes these books unique? Well, at the end of each story, there's a deep dive analysis exploring its themes, explored by journal prompts to help you reflect on how these lessons relate to your personal journey. All of these books are now available on Amazon, so go ahead and take a look and support this project. Reparenting is a journey of growth, iterative change, and continuous improvement. Much like nurturing the bonsai tree, it requires patience, care, consistency, and attention. Thanks for being here and supporting this work, and for committing on your journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading comes from Positive Psychology. It's an article entitled Understanding Emotion, 15 Ways to Identify Your Feelings by Jeremy Sutton. Just as a reminder, we are in May, and the theme is emotional regulation. We're in week 1, which is May 1st to 7th, and the theme for this week is Understanding Your Emotional Landscape. Understanding Emotions, 15 Ways to Identify Your Feelings. Key insights. Emotions are complex reactions that involve physiological arousal, expressive behaviors, and conscious experience, influencing how we perceive and interact with the world. Recognizing and labeling emotions accurately can enhance self-awareness and improve emotional regulation strategies. Developing emotional intelligence through empathy and reflection helps in making informed decisions and strengthens relationships. Human emotions evolve so that we can respond quickly to life or death situations. After all, while fear may prevent us from behaving in a limited way, anger can drive us to protect ourselves or those closest to us. While evidence suggests some emotions are universal, there is no one-size-fits-all emotional balance that suits every culture or all individuals. We should remain conscious and avoid seeing clients who may differ emotionally from ourselves as needing to be fixed. However, we all benefit from better understanding our emotions and how they impact our behavior, especially when they are at odds with our daily and lifelong goals. Before you continue, we thought you might like to download our 3 emotional intelligence exercises for free. These science-based exercises will enhance your ability to understand and work with your emotions and give you the tools to foster your clients, students, or employees' emotional intelligence. What are emotions, And how do they work? The human mind evolved key adaptations to facilitate our ancestors' survival and reproduction challenges. While the environment we live in has changed dramatically, we still share the capacity for problem solving, perception, belief systems, and emotional thinking. A definition of emotional thinking must therefore not only cater to the range of emotions we possess, including both positive and negative, it should also explain how we react physically, psychologically, and cognitively to everyday events, proximate factors, and explain why the mechanisms evolved over many generations, ultimate factors. Evolutionary psychologist Randolph Nessa describes emotions as specialized modes of operation shaped by natural selection to influence behavioral responses to threats and opportunities. After all, evolution's psychological adaptations are not only for problem solving, but also for helping and motivating the individual to maintain and sustain goal directed behavior. Our ancestors had to identify reliable food sources, avoid being eaten, protect their young, and find suitable sexual partner. Emotions such as interest, sadness, and anger are crucial factors in such motivation, driving us to both act and react. However, when there are clear links, it is worth noting that emotions differ from motivation regarding their expression. For example, happiness and anger have physiological responses, such as increased heart rate and sweating, not shared by motivation. Indeed, Ness suggested that there are three components of emotions: physiological, psychological, and behavior. For example, a fear of heights may lead to an increased heart rate and cortisol production. Psychological coping strategies and significant specific behavior, such as checking and rechecking safety equipment. Recently, research has begun to provide insight into what's happening in the brain when we experience emotion. Advanced brain scanning using positron emission tomography and functional magnetic resonance imaging has identified two potential areas engaged in regulation and managing of our emotion. The amygdala, a central part of the limbic system, has been recognized in brain-injured patients as essential to identifying emotions and other spaces such as sadness, fear, and anger. And the orbitofrontal cortex, vital in making higher order functions such as reasoning, processing, language, and even consciousness. If damaged, drastically changes personality and emotional responses. Finally, before leaving physiology behind, it is worth noting that the brain is also underpinned by complex chemical activity. Our emotional responses are entirely driven by hormones such as adrenaline, testosterone, and cortisol. While physiology's importance in determining our emotions is evident, how these emotions are displayed is modified by cultural factors known as display rules. An individual's culture dramatically affects how we express positive emotions such as happiness and negative emotions such as anger. To summarize, emotional responses are highly complex and dictated by genetic predisposition from birth onwards, as well as personal experience. Thank you, and that's the reading from today. I encourage you to check out the link in the show notes to read the entire article. Welcome back. This reading provides a thorough and science-based understanding of how emotions function and why they matter, which ties to May's theme, emotional regulation, and this week's theme of understanding your emotional landscape. It emphasizes that emotions are not random or irrational. They are evolutionary adaptations designed to help us respond to threats, opportunities, and complex social situations. Emotions like fear, anger, and sadness play crucial roles in motivation, decision-making, and survival. This reading highlights that emotions involve three components: physiological responses, psychological interpretations, and behavior actions. Understanding these layers allows us to better recognize what we're feeling, why we're feeling it, and how we might respond more effectively. Importantly, the reading also underscores that emotions are influenced by both biology and culture. While the brain, especially the amygdala and the orbitofrontal cortex, play a central role in the processing of emotional stimuli, cultural norms shape how we express these emotions. This means that emotional awareness is not just about recognizing your internal signals. It also involves understanding how your upbringing, environment, and even your society shape your emotional expression. For emotional regulation to be authentic and effective, it must begin with curious self observation, not judgment. This foundation is a key first step in any reparenting or healing journey, especially for those who may have never been taught how to recognize or process emotions in a healthy way. As we go to the journal prompts today, number one, what physical sensations usually accompany my strongest emotions? For example, anger, anxiety, or sadness. And how do I usually respond to them? What cultural or family display rules shaped how I was allowed or not allowed to express emotions whilst growing up? And number three, what is one emotion I find difficult to identify or name? And what might that reveal about my emotional landscape? That's it for today. As always, thanks so much for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.